Well, welcome back. One of our very own at the SABC, a business anchor on our 404 channel, Collen Lemawane, took it upon himself to educate South Africans about how not to be broke. He has researched and written a book called Why Broke When There is So Much Information. Collen joins us this morning in our studio. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much indeed for your time, Collen. Now, you make a mention that you are a business reporter and anchor, like I said, but you were also broke. Take us through that.
Well, there was a time when I did personal reflection, when I actually observed that my spending habits were really leading me to a financial disaster. And it was happening because I was swiping my way to happiness. But actually, I was wrong. I realized that I only have one money inlet, which is a salary, but then the money activities were many financial outlets. Now, the financial outlets were due to life happens kind of situation, whereby sometimes you spend because you have to, not because you want to. And those kind of obligations then lead to your finances being depleted. And what do? You try to cover the cracks by trying to get a loan to make up for the shortfall that you have. But then eventually you get heavily indebted, and that takes away your financial freedom. So you end up being broke. And that's a situation that is very peculiar to anyone. So that actually leads one to be broke. And I decided to do something about it. And I realized that can only be overcome through strategic personal finance management. And that really can work for each and every individual after personal reflection.
So you're basically saying some of us are spending money on things that we do not necessarily need, but things that we want.
Yes. You know, retail therapy, sometimes people are not doing things deliberately. I've realized that sometimes you do want to save, but sometimes people would have a funeral at home and there's this and that's needed, and there's nothing that you can do. You have to spend that money on that obligation, whereas you didn't budget for it. And there are other activities as well financially whereby you just spend because you didn't have an option. So some people get tempted, and we live a lifestyle that where if things are not going well financially in your life, you live the truth as if it's a lie, and you live a lie as though it's the truth. And that kind of a contradictory situation actually makes one not to be financially confident, and you end up just submitting to the financial situation. Money ends up controlling you instead of you controlling it.
Well, now, on a daily basis, what have people been asking you, especially in terms of financial advice?
Well, people have been saying, I'm broke and I need financial advice. And that's where people get it wrong. Financial advice cannot be sought from every Tom, Dick and Harry. You need to go to a financial advisor who is certified. But our people don't know who financial advisors are. And I actually am challenging the status quo to say that who are the financial advisors? And then do we need to pay them? Do we need them, and should we trust them? Because there are issues regarding trust regarding financial advisors, and people think that financial advisors are expensive, but then, you know, rumors don't help. You need to actually dig deeper and try to find out who the relevant financial advisors are. Your financial advisor is not your friend, or it's not your uncle, or it's not Collen. I am not qualified to be a financial advisor, but people come to me to ask for financial advice. And I've realized that, yes, it is true that we need to get people who are qualified, who will actually design a program that is going to resonate with your financial aspirations. And when I talk about financial advisors, I'm not talking about just an opinion. I'm talking about a fact regarding the kind of money you have, the kind of money that you're going to have, the propensity for you to have a free financial lifestyle when you are retired, for example.
But then is the route of a financial advisor the only way, or does it start with personal discipline? You were earlier mentioning, therapy, going to shopping, for the sake of retail therapy. Does it start with personal discipline before it gets to a situation whereby you basically need a financial advisor?
Yes, it does start with discipline, because if you are not disciplined, you get tempted. And when you are tempted, you do financial activities that you are going to later regret. Some people make those kind of financial blunders, and those blunders lead to what we call cognitive dissonance, whereby you get discouraged and regret after you have already taken taking a decision. And you know what? When it comes to money, a touch is a move.
Because at times you make a budget and say this is this much that I'll be spending, but as soon as you get to the shopping malls, you know, things are different. But then what is inside the book? Is it analysis or is it just pure advice?
Well, look, it's the status quo, it's personal reflection, and it's research. For example, there's desktop research, there's institutional research, but also I went to even old age homes whereby I spoke to retirees, and they told me about the things that they regret when they were still young. I'll make an example. In the book, I refer to the tendency of some individuals who change cars every after 2 years and saying that they don't want to have problems and all that. But then what happens is that a financial advisor will say, well, come to me when you go on retirement, and I'll tell you that if you could have not changed cars from time to time, what you could have done with that money. Because we spend a lot on cars, for example.
All right, Collen, that's where we're going to leave it. Is it available in stores?
It is available, and of course, online, you can order it on www.masili.co.za.
Okay, I even saw some interesting chapters here. Ki December boss and Ki January boss. I do know people spend a lot of money in December, but that's where we're going to leave it. Thank you very much for your time. Unfortunately, Ki Juni boss. Cold winter months. Well, that's our colleague here at SABC News Channel, Collen Lemawane, talking to us about his book, Why Broke When There Is So Much Information Available. When Morning Live takes a break, when we continue, we'll give you a full update of news at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.